I'm wondering if some of the resilience that you obviously seem to have today has come from like some of those periods, because like, did you feel that there was like a sense of grief after every level that you realized that, you know, your eyesight was deteriorating, or how did you feel or view with that during that time? It must have been quite scary.
Yeah, at times, definitely. And I guess in some sense, I've always been fairly lucky in that I was prepared from quite young. Look, I mean, it took them a long time to get a correct diagnosis because what I've got is actually considered to be quite rare.
Mm,
However, there are a few things that are very similar to my diagnosis. And so even when I had the wrong diagnosis and they thought I had something more common, they're kind of like, oh, well, the likelihood is this you're going to lose your eyesight sometime, somehow. And I'm like, okay. So I guess I always had that in the back of my mind, and it was always something that I knew. So there was never any of those disappointments where, I didn't get to 17 and decide, oh, it's time to go and get my learner's permit, and then realize, oh, well, crap, I can't do that. So it
mm,
was one of those things where I was like, okay, well, this is what life is going to be like, and just live it by day and see how it goes. And certainly there's times where it's really frustrating and disappointing when you suddenly realize, well, I could do that before and I can't do it now.
mm.
Just even things like looking at photographs and stuff like that. And as I mentioned, having to adapt reading books, for example, things that I did really enjoy doing. And now I feel, oh, okay, well, now I need to do it differently. And it's not necessarily better or worse. It's just, it's now different. And, there will become a day where I can't see the face of my husband and my children. And, that's going to be a whole grieving process in itself. And, maybe I will never get to see what my grandchildren look like. But once again, that will be something that I will get to do in a different way. And, I guess I look at the blessing of what I have had and the fact that there's people that haven't had that level of sight that I have had, and I know what the color blue is, and I know what a stormy sky looks like, and those things that maybe would be very hard to relate to had I never had that opportunity anyway. So it's
Right.
grieving, but it's also just reframing it, going, well, you know what, this is what it's like, this is a reality. So how do we flip that and turn it into something that's potentially not so negative?
Right. Oh my God, that's so emotionally healthy and wise and intelligent, and all these things that really makes like your message, and why I understand how your message can be so helpful as a resilience coach.